In terms of the defense, I like the secondary. They made a lot of moves at the linebacker position. Of course, again, we're still looking at that defensive line. And are they going to get pass rush? More importantly, are they going to stop anybody in the run? Because Justin Fields will never have the ball in his hands if they can't get off the field on 3rd and 5. Is there any connective tissue year 2 with Eberflus, in my opinion, where I think we're focusing a lot on the quarterback, we're focusing a lot on the general manager, building the team up. Is it fair to start asking a little bit more from Matt Eberflus to give us maybe more of a schematic advantage, to have maybe coach us into some wins?
I think they had a honeymoon last year, and they deservedly needed a honeymoon. They were coming in a tough situation. So you know what? We're going to see what they're going to do. The troubling thing is I grew up knowing that that you need the bodies in the trenches. You need the offensive line, the defensive line. And to hear you in the first 10 minutes talk, Joe, to be honest with you, you've said, well, defensive line is going to be a problem. The offensive line is going to be a problem. Well, that's the problem. The defensive and offensive line, we're going to have a problem. Trouble. I mean, we're in trouble. I mean, because you got to give your quarterback time to pass. But if you're on defense, you got to get to the quarterback. And if we can't get to the quarterback and stop the run, I looked at the over-under for 7. I'm not going to even do anything with that. Maybe if it's 7 and they exceed that, I guess we're going to be happy, no doubt. And if we do that, it's going to have to be because of turnovers and the defense getting better, and we just don't know. And losing Roquan Smith at 26 years of age, whether you wanted to pay him or not, was a tough blow because he went over to another defense and solidified it, the Ravens. So you hate to lose young talent on that side of the ball. They didn't want to pay him that kind of money, which is so, I've heard that for decades. We don't want to pay him. We don't want to pay him. We don't want to pay him. I mean, I go way back to when they didn't want to pay him. When Ditka said they throw around, Hallis throws around nickels and dimes like sewer covers when there were nickels and dimes. So he was a tough one to lose, but we got a lot of young talent on this team, and you're right. He will be judged. Eberflus is the head coach, and he's a defensive guy. I think the thing that's always been in the back of my mind is that when they needed a game and he was with Indianapolis, they got smoked their last game of the season. And
Jacksonville,
against Jacksonville. So, that's a different ball game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I try and teach myself that every year, if you're talking yourself into something, if Javon Dexter, if DeMarcus Walker, this rotating cast, they're all going to be fresh. Sometimes you get to week 1 and you go, oh my God, oh my God, this is what we're looking at. And that's probably my biggest fear right now is, can we even get off the field? And are we going to lose 35-31, which might be entertaining football, but I don't know.
If we can put up 31 points, okay, number one, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
If we're giving up 300 plus yards a game, 350, 400 yards plus yards a game, and we're scoring 17 points a game, we're going to win 3-4 ball games. I mean, last year, I saw something on Twitter earlier, a buddy of mine, Greg Gabriel, scout. I mean, he got excited last year when the Bears started out fast, 2-1, if you remember. And most people predicted them to win 3 games. And he says, hey, who in their right mind thinks the Bears are only going to win 1 more game? And they did. They won 1-14.
10-game losing streak later.
Exactly.
Oh man, that was a charmed time beating those Texans and going to 2-1.